Nancy Pelosi reportedly raking in more than $130 million in profits from trading stocks during her 37 years in Congress. That's according to a new report by the New York Post. The former House Speaker saw a whopping return of nearly 17,000% while in office, outperforming the Dow. Before taking office in 1987, a financial forum showed California Democrat and her husband reporting up to $785,000 worth of stocks in their portfolio. The report comes days after the 85-year-old announced she won't be seeking re-election.
This is the kind of stuff that makes people just hate government, hate politicians. It's disgusting. And I don't know why she just walks away from it with nothing happening to her. That's clearly inside information. There's no way she's that smart.
Apparently, it is a very, very profitable business to be in, politics.
Yeah.
The shutdown is almost over. But that doesn't mean that Nancy Pelosi did not cash in. And now that she's retiring, she gets to experience the dismal failure of what it's like to experience outsider trading instead of insider trading like everyone else. But we still get to track her corruption. And so it's very rare that I replay an episode, but I'm going to in just a second, right after I show you this article here. This one was posted. This is on Fox News. Pelosi earned more than $130 million in stock profits, return of 16,930% during her time in Congress. Do you think that's fair? Would you trade this like her? Okay, then watch this show. I'm going to bring on my friend Ross, who's going to give us an opportunity where we can sign up to this webinar, and I'll be there in the audience watching too. And it's totally free. And he tells you how he tracks people like Nancy Pelosi, and we can invest right along with them.
As the president said in the Roosevelt Room yesterday, conceptually, he of course supports the idea of ensuring that members of Congress and United States senators who are here for public service cannot enrich themselves. And the reason that this idea to put a ban on stock trading for members of Congress is even a thing is because of Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is rightfully criticized because she makes, I think, $174,000 a year, yet she has a net worth of approximately $413 million. In 2024, Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, this was a fascinating statistic to me, grew 70% in 1 year in 2024. And her
how does that work? Ross Givens, welcome to the show. How does that work?
Well, it's funny, Doug. The stock market is the one place in the world that will make you money if you know anything anybody else doesn't. And when you have people in positions, whether they're politicians or corporate insiders, that know things about specific companies or government appropriation bills going out or piece of legislation going to affect a sector, that's going to have big impacts on the underlying stocks. And they know all of this stuff. Nancy's been doing this for nearly 20 years now. And yeah, 70% is pretty much on par with her. As Carolyn said, I mean, you don't make 180 grand a year and build up a $400 million war chest without bending the rules a little bit. And so I'll give you a really quick example of the kind of things she and other members of Congress do. So Nvidia, we all know about Nvidia. It's been the stock for the last year. It's up 10, 15-fold. Well, Nancy bought big into this back in 2022, not because she has some great insight, not because she's the AI knowledge base, but because she in Congress put together a bill known as the CHIPS Act. And what this did was give $52 billion in government subsidies to these American chip manufacturers. Now, we can debate whether it's the right thing to do to take your and my tax dollars and give them to billion-dollar companies later. But nonetheless, you know, when you do that, these stocks are going to rise. So 2 weeks before she passed this legislation, she went in with $1 million into Nvidia. And Doug, she didn't just buy Nvidia stock. She bought Nvidia stock options, which are a highly leveraged short-term all or nothing bet. And so this gets passed, which of course she knew it would. She drafted, or at least contributed to drafting the damn bill. The stock shoots up. Her 1 million turned into 4 or 5. And so if you'd have told me the government was about to give $50 billion to Nvidia and the crew, I'd have bought all the semiconductor stocks too. So they're just in that position to know this stuff. And when we see them going in, making these big, crazy, concentrated bets, it's usually indicative of them knowing something we don't, right?
Okay, are you still following this? This is a replay of an old episode because so many of you guys signed up for this seminar. In this case, it was about Nancy Pelosi, but now that the shutdown is over, it still applies. How do we get in on what Nancy Pelosi benefited from? We're going to watch right now together. And remember, so many of you signed up. I hope more of you will click the link in the description and sign up with me for my dedicated website, and we can get our training from my pal Ross on how to do what Nancy Pelosi did. I just want to know, how does she get away with it? Is it what is the legality of it? How does she get away with it?
Well, it's a funny thing. You'd be surprised what you can get away with when you're the one that writes the laws. You know, they tease this stock trading ban. They've been doing it for decades. It's never passed. It never is going to pass unless the only thing they care about is threatened. And that's, of course, re-election. And this lady's been doing this for 16, 17 years. The crazy people of San Francisco re-elect her every year. So why would she stop doing it? You know, they passed something about a decade ago known as the Stock Act, trying to curb this, but it didn't stop it. But it gave you and me a big opportunity. And this is what I try to share with people they don't know. So the Stock Act didn't stop them from insider trading. What it did is make a requirement that they report these trades. So when they buy a stock or sell a stock, they are required to report that publicly.
Is that right away they have to report it?
So Congress gets up to 30 days. Some do it immediately, some wait. There's other insiders we follow that are corporate insiders. So like CEOs, CFOs, those people, they have to report pretty much right away. So they buy Tuesday, we know Wednesday. And so when you can see this stuff, when you can see what stocks they're buying with their own money in companies they know more about than anybody else, what they're really doing is kind of feeding you inside tips. And so with Congress, you mentioned Debbie Schultz earlier. So what she did, the reason she had that huge return last year, she bought this little stock called Rheinmetall. And here's what's weird about that one. Now, this is not a woman who buys a lot of stocks.
Yeah.
She hadn't bought any in like 3 years. And then suddenly the one stock she buys is Rheinmetall, this small German arms manufacturer. So like, if you came in and bought Google, I get it. If it's Amazon, everyone owns it. Who the hell owns Rheinmetall? Well, then you look and you see that Debbie Schultz just so happens to be on these congressional committees that award funding, that decide where the dollars are going for defense contracts, et cetera. They know about wars escalating in Europe. And so this stock goes up 160, 170% the first year she owns it. And so, you know, I've been doing this a long time, Doug. And let me tell you something, if I picked one stock in 3 years and the damn thing tripled in 11 months, I mean, the odds of that are so astronomical.
Yeah, you're a genius. You'd be
a
genius.
Exactly. And so
Debbie Wasserman Schultz, genius.
I mean, look at the woman, right? She's like a liberal arts major, I think. She's not a reformed Wall Street trader.
I'm a similar dummy. I'm an art major too. I was a fine art major. I'm a painter and a comic book guy by trade. So I don't know enough about stocks. I've had good stocks. I've had bad stocks. Is there something where normal, because what we're putting together, I'm a normal guy and I want to put this thing together for normal people. And coming up this Wednesday, right? You're going to show us how to do it step by step at this free event. It's like a webinar. I will be there sitting in the audience. You're going to talk about it. Are you going to give us enough information where someone like me who knows almost nothing about financials but is in the market, can you help me and my people?
Yeah, and so here's how this started. So I launched a service we do for our members back in 2017, following insider trades, politicians, corporate insiders, and just looking for these standouts. These guys have never bought. Now 10 of them bought in the same week. What do they know? And we follow along. And we've beat the market every single year for the last 7 years straight. So it has worked pretty well. And so what we did last year is start saying, all right, let's host some training events, because people, mean, everyone is furious about this insider trading stuff. They know it goes up, but nobody knows that you can profit from it. And so I'm like, look, we're paying Nancy's salary. The least we could do is get a couple stock tips off the old broad, right? So we hold these training events. It lasts about 45 minutes to an hour, and I show you where the databases are, where all this stuff is public. Anybody can access it. Senator trades, House of Representative trades, insider trades for members of Congress, all SEC website, all there. And I just walk through the process. Most of our members have never bought a stock before. So I'm not going to be there talking about, PE ratio and margin trades and crap. At the end of the day, look.
You'll use dumb language, so I understand.
we're going to keep it third grade level. But look, at the end of the day, Doug, you know this, a stock is simply a small ownership in a company. Yeah. If that company sells more stuff and makes more profits, it's going to go up. If they sell less, and it's going to go down. So what drives these stocks, at least the big quick moves, are these unexpected pieces of good news. Oh, they just got a $2 billion government contract. Pelosi bought this tiny little AI stock back in January. Thing shoots up 100 and something % in 30 days. Well, what do you know? One of the C-suite executives at Tempest AI just so happened to be somebody she used to work with in DC. So it's like, but anyway, we show people how to do this, what to look for, what to look out for. I show dozens of examples, real simple. Here's the stock. Here's all these guys buying. A couple weeks later, this happens. We don't take big risks. Like I show people how to do like what we call sell stop orders. We're like, hey, if it goes down 15%, I'm out. That's all. Maybe it wasn't right this time. But we've gotten stocks that have doubled, tripled. We got into one that went up 1,900% in 2 years.
Yeah.
Just following this stuff. And so what I try to show people, and look, I'm anything but a snake oil salesman. Please don't take this as it's the cheat code. Every stock's going to go straight up. There's no such thing. We all know that. But if you get even a couple of these a year that go up 2, 3, 4, 500%, it's a big needle mover for you, right? I mean, if you've got 10,
I'll take it.
If you got 5% of your account into a stock that goes up 300%, your whole account went up 10%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, to my audience, you guys know I do not get involved with snake oil salesmen. I'm very protective of my audience, but I am personally going to go in and do some experiments. But the actual training thing, the actual event where you get to see, where he's going to tell you all about the methods of it, it's free. And the beloved Miss Tenaple and I are going to learn. And just that information alone, I need that education. But the actual seminar is free. We want you guys to sign up for it. You should click the link in the description right now. You'll see the link. It says DISGRACE.com. That'll take you to that website that has the ticking clock on it to when the event goes live. And we'll all be sitting there on the web together. And Ross is going to put on a show for us and teach us step by step how to do it. That is Wednesday, November 12th, 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's completely free, and you'll be absolutely blown away by Ross, who's very entertaining at this stuff. And it's going to be easy for us. That's why I'm all about this. You know how I hate elites, guys, and I hate unfairness. But I also like the idea, if they're doing it and it is legal, and the information's out there, then I say, why not us benefit, at least from the knowledge, even if you don't buy into the whole thing, at least from the knowledge, I want to know how it's done, because it's going to affect the way that not only that I do my retirement, guys, I mean, my stock trading, this is about my retirement. I got to make up for lost times for some bad investments like NFTs that I did a few years ago.
They got you in the NFTs, huh?
So Ross, yeah, they did. They got me good.
I was going to tell you one more thing. I'm sorry to cut you off, Doug, but anybody who signs up, one thing I'm going to do, we're going to send out our most recent stock pick to everybody who registers. So even if you can't attend live, put your email in. We'll send that to you. It doesn't cost you anything, but I'll show you all the research, which insiders are buying, what the stock is, what's going on. And I think it's going to be really eye-opening when you see just what's available to you. So even if you can't come, put your email in. We'll send you the recording, watch on your own time. But I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised and at what's available to them.
Wow. Thanks so much, Ross. This is going to be great. Gang, you heard it. The link below. DougsInsiders.com. We're just starting this out. There'll be a place right there where you put your email in, and Ross sends you a pic that he wants to tell you about, just to show that he's an honest actor. And until then, guys, I'll see you guys Wednesday at the seminar. I'll be sitting there in the office. Okay, and that concludes our first time ever replay of the Nancy Pelosi episode by popular demand. You guys wanted to hear more about it. You guys have been signing up for this webinar, which I'm signing up for also. I'll see you there tomorrow at the event. You'll see the ticking clock on the website. Click the link in the description for Doug's Insiders. That is my insidertraders.com. I'm Doug in Exile.